Hello guys, and we are back with yet another video tutorial on C++ programming language, and obviously the data structures and algorithms course. So in this video, what are we going to do? As you can see on your screen, we are going to do some basic questions. What basic questions are we actually going to do? Okay, so for loop basic questions we are going to do. Now I'll tell you one more thing. I'll attach the I'll not attach, basically in the video only I'll show you the while loop program also for one of the programs. We are going to do two programs. For one program I'll show you the while loop code also, so that you can get an idea, and for the second program, if you want to write code in the while loop, you can do it by yourself. Okay, I'll be explaining the codes in this video using the for loop only. Okay, so what actually are the questions which we are going to do? How many questions? I told you two questions. The very first question which we are going to do is table of n. Okay, what does it means? User will enter any number and we will have to print the table of that number. Okay, the second question is sum of n natural numbers. Okay, we will calculate the sum of first n natural numbers. Obviously the first word is here important. Okay, we are not going to calculate the sum of natural numbers, n natural numbers, from anywhere in the between. We are going to calculate it from first n natural numbers. In the next video I'll probably show you how to calculate the sum from between. Okay, so in the next further videos we will talk about very famous programs like factorial of a number and prime number and calculating the Fibonacci series. Okay, we'll do such programs also, but for now we are we'll also do the pattern questions which come under the category of nested loops. But guys, for now in this video we are going to discuss very basic questions. Now why? Because first of all, I have told you about the for loop and while loop syntax, also the do while loop. I want you guys to be perfect with the syntax also, and these questions will help in a very little help will be there in the logic building, but a great help will be there in your learning of your syntax. So you will learn your syntax very good way when you will practice these two questions. So let's start. So what is a table of number? Let's say I have 5. So the table of 5 is 5 into 1 is 5, 5 into 2 is 10, and 5 into 3 is 15. So you all know guys that this is the table of any number. Okay, like the table of 5, and we go up till 10. Okay, that 5 into 10 is 50. This is how we end. So the number here whose table we are calculating, the variable n which we will take in the program, is 5. Okay. Now you know that for loop will be based on a variable I, and that has a condition that it starts from something and it ends till something. So here I will start from 1 and will go till 10. Okay, this is I actually. This 1, 2, 3 up till 10. This is actually I which we are going to use in our for loop. The variable which we are going to use in our for loop is I, and this is what we are going to do with it. Okay, so 5 into 1 is 5, and basically up till 10 if we write. So what is the code which we are going to write? We are going to write for I equal to 1, I less than equal to 10, I plus guys, let me write it on the left side so that it would be visible to you. Okay, so 5 into 1 is 5. Now for I equals 1, I less than equal to 10, and I plus plus. Now what am I going to write? I am going to write C out. See, what am I going to print here? It's very important. N multiplied by, so multiplied sign within the quotes. N is a placeholder, the value of n will come. N multiplied by I equal to sign. I'll print it within the brackets. If it is not visible to you, I have within the quotes, I have printed equal to, and I'm continuing from below so that you guys can see it. In the program we'll continue in the same statement obviously. So we have printed n into I equal to. Now we have to print the answer. What is the answer? It's n into I only. So now we will print n into I. But the star this time, the asterisk operator, will not be in quotes. Okay, obviously it is not going to be in quotes because we are not going to print the asterisk operator. We are calculating here the number n multiplied by the variable I, which will have a certain value at a certain position. That is 1 or 2 up till 10. Okay, so guys, this is how basically our loop is going to look like. Now how will it print actually? How this loop is going to print what I want? So let's see. I'll have n is equal to 5 and I equal to 1. Okay, now I want to print this. 5 into 1 is equal to 5. Okay, 5 into 1 is equal to 5. How is it getting printed? Because see, n was 5, into we printed 1 is the value of I is equal to n into I. So it took 5 and 1 and multiplied it and gave the answer 5. Okay, now the I value is incremented and the condition is checked. Yeah, 2 is less than or equal to 10. So we'll print n, then we'll print multiply, then we'll print the I value which is 2, then we'll print equal to, and then we'll print n into I. Now n is 5 but I is 2, so 5 into 2 is 10. So it will print 10 here. Okay, obviously this is printing in the next line because we will use the backslash n or end l. Okay, we have to print all of this in the next line. Okay, so we will use the end l function or the backslash n function. Okay, yeah, so after this ni means n into I, we will write end l or backslash n, whatever, in order to leave the line. So I guess now I have made this question very clear. It's, there is nothing very difficult concept to explain here. It was simple thing. We print n, we print I, we print a multiply sign between them, then after that we print equal to, and n into I calculated will be printed. Let's move. Alright guys, so now we are ready to code, and I'll first save this file as table of n for loop.cpp. Okay, now let me zoom this for you. Hash include IO stream. So I'll have a variable in, and what I'll write is enter the number whose table you want to print. Okay, so the user will enter the number whose table he or she wants to print. Okay, and I'll see in n. So this is pretty much of it guys. I have explained the code already to you, so we'll write here n I equal to n star I. Okay, by mistake here I've printed it. It has to be star. Okay, so also I want to leave line after every string, and I'll return 0. Okay, so guys, now let's try to build and run this code. Hopefully it will not show us any error. So enter the number whose table you want to print, and if I want to print the table of 5, it prints it. 5 into 1 5, 20, 10, 15, 20, 25 until 50. Okay, so guys, this is pretty much of it. I have already explained this code to you in your digital blackboard. So yeah, and if you want this code for while loop, so I have already created this code for while loop also. This is the code for while loop. You can pause the screen and take a screenshot or whatever you want to do, and I run this also. Okay, let's run this code also. I'll run this and I'll enter, let's say, 13. So it prints the table of 13. Okay, so this is pretty much of it guys. Now let's move on to our next question. Okay, so guys, moving ahead, we have now the second question. Okay, now we have printed the table of n. We have seen both the explanation part as well as the coding part, and I hope you guys are clear with both of them. Now let's move to the next question, which is sum of n natural numbers. Rather we'll say sum of first n natural numbers. You can also calculate for whole numbers. Okay, what is whole number, what is natural number, what is the difference between them? So let me first tell you, natural numbers from 1 to infinity are natural numbers, and numbers from 0 to infinity are whole numbers. Simply, if you add 0 also in the list of natural numbers, then it becomes whole number. Okay, so you can print. So obviously the sum of first n natural numbers is going to be equal to the sum of first n whole numbers, because 0 will be added, and 0 adding the 0 will remain same. Okay, yeah. So let's say we want to print first 10 natural numbers. I have decided the value of n here, that the value of n is going to be 10, because I'm saying that I want to print the sum of first 10 natural numbers. Do you guys know the sum of first 10 natural numbers? It's 55. Okay, you can calculate it by your own. So now I am showing you that what code we will be following. Okay, we will be writing a loop. This will be the loop. I will start from 1 up till n, obviously, because we have to write the code for printing the sum of first n natural numbers, and the value of n is 10, so I am writing 10 here. You can input this value from the user also. Okay, you can input this value from the user also. Remember guys, I am writing 10 here. Why I'm writing 10 here? Because I'm just trying to make it easy. Okay, you can input the value from the user also. So I plus plus. Now remember guys, before starting with this loop, I have declared some variables. Obviously, you know that before starting with the loops, we declare some variables. So I have already declared a variable named sum, and I have initialized it to 0, which means that the initial value, I messed up with this. Okay, so the initial value of sum is going to be 0. I assigned sum as 0 initially. Now why I did that, you will get to know. Okay, you'll get to know this, that why I initialize sum to 0, or why am I doing whatever I am doing. Okay, you will be told all these things. Just focus here for now. So where was I? Yeah, I was talking about declaring the sum initially. Okay, now I'll write something within the body. I'll write it as sum equals sum plus I. I'm going to write this. Okay, and I'll end the loop. Obviously I'll print its sum also. Okay, I'll print sum also after the loop is completed. I'll not print it within the loop. Now why am I not printed within the loop? Because if I print it within the loop, then the number starting from it will keep on adding the numbers and will print all the numbers at every step. What do I mean by that? Let me tell you. Okay, first let's see what is happening, why the program I wrote before on the screen is absolutely correct to find the sum of n natural numbers. Okay, so let's, for the sake of simplicity, say here n is equals not 10. Let's take it smaller value. Let's take the value of n to be 4 or 5 something. Okay, so we write the value of n as 4 here. Okay, so I have written n as 4. That is, we want to print the sum of first 4 natural numbers, that is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 I want to do. So initially I is 1 and sum is 0. So sum is equal to sum plus I. This is the formula I wrote. So if I do this, then the value of s was 0 and the value of I was 1. Okay, I was the value of 1. So this is the value of the updated sum, so I write it below 1. And now the I has incremented, I value has become 2. Again, if I put the value of s and I in the formula, I'll get 3 as the sum, and this is again the updated sum. US stands for updated sum here. So I print the value 3 on the bottom. Okay, now I is also incremented to 3, and if you put them in the formula, you will get 6 as the answer. Okay, now continuing this, if now I'll print, okay, in place of sum I'll write 6, and the I value has now incremented to 4. Okay, so I'll write 4 and the sum becomes 10. Now since I has become equal to n, the loop will stop. The loop will stop, and when the loop has stopped, what is the value stored in sum? The last value stored in sum, it is 10. After the loop is exited, I want to print sum, so 10 will be printed. Okay guys, so 10 will be printed. Now let's check mathematically is it correct or not. So I do 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. It's obviously 10 guys. So it is mathematically correct. Okay, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 becomes 10 as the answer. So yeah, my program is mathematically correct. Now why I was telling you to write sum outside the loop, because you know on every step there was a value which was assigned to the sum. Behind the scenes you saw it, that on every step there was a value which was assigned to sum. So if I would have written sum, cout sum within the loop only, then at every step that value would have been printed. Okay, so to avoid this, to print the final sum only, we wrote it outside the loop. So now let's code and write the program for this. And yeah, I'll not explain much in the code. I'll not explain anything in the code because I have explained everything here. So guys, see you in the code. Okay, so now let's move to the next program, and I'll save it by the name of sum of n numbers dot cpp. Okay, so let's just zoom this, and I'll copy the basic syntax from here only. Wait, I'll just copy this syntax from here itself. Control C, and okay, so now what I want to do is I want to calculate the sum of n numbers. So I'll have n, and I'll have this variable sum equal to 0. I told you already. So I'll see in the value of n directly. I'm not writing any statement here that enter the numbers. Obviously n is the number up to which we want to calculate the sum. Okay, so yeah, obviously n is the number. And now what we'll write is we'll directly move to the for loop for int I equal to 1, I less than equal to n, I plus plus sum equals sum plus I, and I have to display this sum. Now if I I'm making a mistake here. I have to print this outside this loop. Okay, now if I build and run this code, and I enter 10, we know that answer should be 55, and we are getting it. Okay guys, so yeah, this is all about this code also, and I hope you like this video guys, and I've already explained this code to you. Okay, so there's not much need of explanation here also. So guys, please like, share and subscribe the channel for more such videos.